So, for those of you who are struggling with anxiety disorders, panic attacks, agoraphobia, here's some quick key steps on getting on your recovery journey in 2024. And it doesn't start tomorrow, and it doesn't start next week. It starts today. It starts now when you hear this, when you listen to this. There's no more waiting, okay? So, here I am in Dublin, Ireland, okay? This is my house, and this is where I started my recovery. I'm about to leave this door, and I'm going to show you exactly where I started my recovery, how far I could go at the start, and how far I eventually went, and a couple of key things along the way towards recovery. So I'm about to leave this door right now. Here we go. I'm about to leave this door now, and I'm going to walk to a certain traffic light that it took me 1.5 months to get past. Now, you're going to see how long it takes to get there in distance and time, which would be possibly, I'm going to run, so possibly 5 minutes. To walk, 10, less. And that is where I started. I couldn't even run there. It took me so much time of going back, going forward, not even making it coming home, because I was so terrified of death, heart attack, stroke, seizure, going crazy, far away from home. And this was 2 kilometers from home. And this is where I started, in this exact house 5 years ago. So let's go. I'll talk you through it as we go. So down the stairs, off we go. Off we go. Now you're going to see exactly how long it takes for me to get to the traffic light that I once took 1.5 months to get past the psychology of running past that traffic light. 1.5 months it took me to get past a damn traffic light. That's how stuck I was for 10 years. Off we go. So, as you can see, it's a windy night, but as I said, I just left my house. There we are now. Okay, let's see how long it takes to get to where we want to be. Okay, so here is the little park, which you can see. How long did that take me? 10 to 15 seconds to walk from my park, from my house to my park. And this is the park where I could only walk my dog for so many years. Okay, a tiny small park. Okay, I could only walk my dog around here. And this park has, I mean, if you do a circle around it, you won't even clock up 1 kilometer. And I couldn't even. I started off running around this park, okay, clocking up just around here in a circle, because my house was close, which means safety. And I couldn't get past this. And then I ventured on further to a traffic light that I told you that I eventually moved from this park, realizing I ain't gonna recover like this. I need to go further. And then I decided I'm gonna go towards the coast road, towards the sea. And in order to do that, this is the way I went, and I couldn't even get past the first traffic light. So we fast forward on, and all I'm doing is lightly jogging, really lightly, towards this traffic light, so you guys can see exactly where I started, so you don't get into the psychology of this is too hard. Listen, it's damn hard, but you don't get into the psychology of this can't be done. I have to be at a certain level to recover. I have to be this, I have to be that. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision every single day to fail at this. You fail. Failure is fuel. Keep failing. keep failing? Because with all those failed attempts, what if you didn't accumulate all those failed attempts? You'd be sitting in your house doing nothing, worried about the same thoughts and the same sensations. When you get out and you tackle this head on, your brain knows that it's going into fear. Your brain knows that you're terrified and you're consistently going towards this. And every single time you go towards it with all the fears over how many years you've struggled, you realise nothing is happening to you. So after a month of consistent work, although you're nowhere near recovery, you're getting repetition and your brain's really seeing, wow, nothing's actually happened to me in this month, and not being very consistent with going out. Now, we march on. And we march on, and as you guys know, when I was struggling with anxiety and panic attacks, I used to run across to the fire brigade station. And there's the fire brigade station, right there. How far is that from my home? How long have I been jogging now? 4, 5, 6 minutes. That's how close the fire brigade station is. Now here we are, from the fire brigade station over here to go all the way down here was extremely psychologically, I couldn't break it. I couldn't break this psychology down. It was too scary, because the further I got down, the further I was away from safety that I built up for 10 years. So the further I went away from safety, which is the fire brigade station, my brain started to torture me. Get back, you're gonna die, you're gonna faint, you're gonna collapse, you're gonna go crazy, you're gonna need to ring an ambulance because you're gonna have a heart attack. My brain, it was like that. The further I kept going down here, my brain, my symptoms exploded. It was horrible. But I wanted my life back so bad that nothing was going to stop me. Nothing, not even death. Okay? We march on. So as you can see, the fire brigade station is just there. And as I would be going on this jog, I would be tested mentally. And sometimes I'd stop here and I'd go home. And literally the fire brigade station's 20 seconds away. But I couldn't make it down this road. So I would stop and go home. And the next day that would it would eat at me. I couldn't accept it. The next day I'd be out here again like this. And maybe I would stop exactly where I stopped before. Or maybe I'd make it a bit further. My psychology, I couldn't break it down. And then I'd go back home, I'd retreat. But I went back at it again. And again. And again. And eventually, I made it down to the traffic light that I can literally see in front of me. And what do you think happened? Traffic light is just in front of me. What do you think happened when I got to that traffic light? When I got to the traffic light, my brain said, fuck, you're too far from home. You're too far from the fire brigade station. If anything happens here, you're fucked. So it was a real horrible journey all the way back to the fire brigade station. When I say all the way back, it's 5 minutes. But that's where I started. That's where I started. 5-minute jog from home. You do not need to be going hours away from home to overcome your agoraphobia. Start off by doing these small things. It took me 1.5 months, 1 month and a half to make it, to jog 6-7 minutes from home. And then, what do you think happened when I got to this traffic light? I started to make it then, my mind started realising nothing happens here, nothing happens here, nothing happens here. Not because I was at home thinking nothing was going to happen. I was out, my brain seeing nothing was going to happen, because the amygdala does not change by you reading all those books. You're wasting your time. The amygdala will only have that psychological switch over when you consistently show it that you are not in danger. And that is exactly what I did. When I reached down here after a month and a half, I was pissed off that I couldn't go past that part now. So what did I do? I marched on, I marched forward, and I kept going. And there's the green traffic light. I couldn't get to this green traffic light for a month and a half. And after I broke through that, I went to the second traffic light, the third one, and the fourth one. And that was the furthest I'd been away from home without any safe person, mechanism, or anything for about 5 to 6 years. So here I am at the traffic light. And right here is a red traffic light. That is the fire brigade station. That is how far from home I couldn't go. And in 4 months' time, when I kept up that, I went from being unable to jog, 2 kilometers, to running the Dublin Marathon 4 months later. And then in 5 months, getting on a plane to take my first trip to Paris. But I just wanted to show you guys, this is where I made my full recovery from my house that I just showed you a couple of minutes ago to that damn traffic light. That was the hardest part of my journey, was making it 5 minutes away from home consistently, and then moving forward, because the hardest thing is to get started.